Okay, hello everybody, and this is just a really quick tip and help for you guys to develop Week 11's programming activity. This programming activity has two parts. One is where you, the user, is the one who guesses a number between 1 and 100. Well, this is very easy, so you might have done this in a few minutes because the computer just generated a random number and you were supposed to guess, and the computer would say less or greater than, and in that case it would until it found the number. As a human being, you work in a very efficient way, which is every time that you have a range of numbers, you divide by 2 and then you find half of the new range of numbers. So in the other part of the program, the computer is the one who has to guess the number that you're thinking, and you just have to tell the computer if it's less or greater than. And we have to work pretty much the same as we do as human beings. We have to get a range of numbers and then start finding out what is the midpoint of that range and guess that number. So we would just have to create two conditional statements. Okay, so let's say I wrote this really quickly, okay? And let's see how it works. Then I'll explain how is the program developed for the second part of the program for week 11. So first of all, the computer will start guessing a number. So it says, is your number 50? So I need to type in less or greater. Let's say my number, or the number that I'm thinking, is 22. So I type in less. Automatically, the computer will say, okay, then it's 25. Now, it is important to understand that the maximum number is the number that was guessed. So, if I type in less, the maximum is now the number guessed, and the minimum stays the same from the very beginning. Okay? So it's still less. So let me type in less again, and the minimum continues to be 1, and the maximum number, which is the number I just guessed. Then it divides it by 2 and continues guessing. So it's pretty much how the human does the analysis of finding a number. This is the most efficient way. Okay, now in this case, since my number is 22, the one that I'm thinking, I'm gonna go up. So I'm gonna type in greater. Okay, now the number guessed is the minimum, and the maximum stays the same. So the math formula here is the maximum minus the minimum, okay, divided 2 plus the minimum number, okay? So it's 19. I'm going to continue saying that it's greater. Now the minimum is now 19, and I found the correct number. So I type in yes, and it says good job. So this is pretty much what you need to do. It's not very complex. You just need to understand that the range of numbers that the computer can guess will change. That's the tricky part of this program, that the range changes, okay? What I did is that I created 3 methods. Well, we have our main method, and then I created another method called guess and another method called option. Now the guess just will receive a min and a max, which is going to change, okay? Now my void main is just a while loop that is going to keep on guessing, and I'm going to send my min and my max all the time. So for this, I created 3 global variables for this program: the min, the max that starts at the max that is 100, the min that is 1, and the number that I'm going to continue guessing all the time throughout the different methods. So I call guess with the min and the max, and I get the min and the max in my second method, which is pretty much I'm printing the min and the max so I can see that it's actually working. And this would be the math formula. This is like the tricky part. It's just the max minus the min divided 2, and then I add the min. Remember that we need to cast it to an integer number all the time, because you might get a decimal dividing these two, okay? Although, even though min and max are integer numbers, this might not be necessary, okay? So, Then you guess the number, and after you guess the number, you asked the user what is the option. Okay? Is your number this? And then I will pass on from this method. I'm going to call the next method. Okay? So I'm going to call with the option. And option requires a string. So you can see the method option requires a string. So I'm passing the answer to the next method, which is just a condition that says if it's less, then make the maximum equals a number. If it's greater, then make the minimum equals a number. And if it's yes, then just finish the program. So this is pretty much what you need to do for the second part of week 11. I hope this helps in case you have trouble. This is a very easy way to do it. And see you later.